Hello, hi, welcome and thank you for being here today. I hope you're having a beautiful day or night. We're going to dive on in, get you a little clarity, see what's going on with the energy, the situation that would be helpful to know about and have insight on. This reading's timeless. Whenever it finds you, it's the right time. See what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always follow and trust that divine inner guidance that is in you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. We're going to start with the 78 Stories Tarot. This one's a little weird. I like it. I haven't used it in a while. So let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Let's begin. Let's see what the foundational message. Wow, so quick. So 4 of Swords upside down. So somebody's not feeling comfortable in their own environment where they really should feel at peace. This is my going to bed with armor on kind of energy. So even though the surroundings might be familiar, whether that's a home, a certain partnership, a friend group, a work environment, somebody feels kind of out of place, you know, like they can't ever find their center. They don't sleep properly. They're worried about something a little too much. This is upright now. Somebody finally feeling at peace, somebody feeling good about their surroundings, somebody wanting to jump into that big fluffy bed and get a good, you know, I actually heard a cat nap. So maybe somebody that likes to take naps. Maybe it's even a short little nap, like 20 minutes really restores your energy. It looks like there's somebody who's been waiting for a message to arrive. Maybe a message that's arriving, or communication, since it's swords, actually restores peace. This could be a clarifying conversation. It could also be communication from someone you didn't expect. It could also be where somebody here is ready to open up a new chapter, or open up that book on some plans or some ideas from something they saw online, or even via snail mail. Let's see, why is the 4 of Swords here? 4 of Swords, clarify, please and thank you. Sometimes it's the energy of meditation. Sometimes I even see that as doing some yoga, or some like yin yoga, some exercises that, well, I mean, maybe it's even like, you know, hefty exercises, but then you sleep really good at night. But I feel like there's something here about going to bed with a clear head, going to bed feeling more at peace with maybe what you are pursuing in the day, feeling more grounded, comfortable. For some of you, I hear half an hour. Maybe it's about that half-hour time before you go to sleep or when you wake up that makes, you know, a good imprint or impression on how you sleep. I do feel like for some of you, maybe half an hour before you are going to go to bed, maybe shutting off the electronical devices, maybe opening up that book instead might be really beneficial for you, even if you're just journaling, or, you know, writing down the to-do for tomorrow. Or even reviewing what you've gotten finished, or what you accomplished in the day. Something about writing something down, and I'm getting like that computer shutting down. Maybe that reboots you. Oh, maybe that reboots the Emperor. Maybe the Emperor is starting to take charge, or really feel comfortable about reaching out and communicating. I hear filling in the gaps, or reaching out into the world, communicating with somebody that's maybe from a different culture or a different part of the world. this is somebody who is like bringing someone in for a meeting. The Emperor is really strong. Also upright, the Emperor is very much the divine masculine energy. All of those king's attributes combined and connected with divinity. When the Emperor follows his higher self, it is a masculine energy. We're not reading genders here. Then he's very clear about the direction and the decisions that he makes. Also, he's very clear on how to redirect if a wrong decision was made in the past. I feel like he needs to sit down a couple people to inform them or let them know why he's moving in a certain manner. Because now I feel like whatever was written down here or communicated maybe at night or communicated that energy of peace or resolution, it looks like those plans are put into action. So maybe he's talking about future plans with a certain group. The Emperor is pretty solid. When the Emperor makes a decision, it's not wishy-washy at all. If the Emperor is upside down, it could be where somebody always felt they had to have that armor on in a certain environment, because the Emperor upside down is, quite frankly, an ass. He's very much a tyrant his way, the highway. He's not connecting to his higher self. He can manifest. He's usually powerful, in the position where he's in charge, or at least thinks he should be. But there's an overpowering, a pompous energy. It's, he installs fear on others, or like really takes a hold. He doesn't listen to outside opinions. It's just his own mind, and that's it. When the Emperor's the other way and relatable and actually hears others out, even if it's, the final decision is his, but he's smart enough, kind enough, gentle enough, powerful enough to know that he doesn't have all the info. There's more strength to reach out and make those connections and maneuver his decisions according to what knowledge he gains, or insight comes in, or perceptions were heard, experiences that were had. So, like, the Emperor wants everyone in the kingdom to feel successful, not to be there because they signed the old contract and they have to. But let's see. I feel like there's something about this Emperor not really feeling that comfortable in an environment. I kind of feel like, I know this is really different, but I feel like if that's you, there might be somebody that needs a talking to. They're getting a warning. And I kind of see that there might be if this has to do with maybe work, I feel like there might have to be something switched up, or I actually feel like somebody might get the boot. Maybe this Emperor wants something to change. And if there's some stubborn energies here that are not really on board with that change, or not inflexible and can't, I do feel like he's going to be the one to change that situation and put somebody in that position that's way more flexible, that he sees the potential to build with and grow a kingdom like around, whatever that is. And that could be a partnership as well, but there's something about like really stepping into that position of self-empowerment. He can't control how others want to move or not, but he can control what he decides based on someone else's actions or reactions. So it's also a 4 and a 4. So 8 is a really powerful number. That is the number of manifestation, karma, eternity, cycles. Maybe somebody has an 8 path. Life path number, or the number 8 is important. The number 4, 4, 8, 8, 4. The Emperor wants to be in this 10 of Cups energy. Maybe the Emperor is making some changes because instead of just being all in the material realm, he recognizes that part of those dreams coming true, that happiness of everyone around him, is when he involves his own happiness first. If the Emperor is not happy and not making decisions that involve his truth, his heart, his authenticity, his love, then he's kind of a grumpy Emperor. no matter how powerful he is, because if he's not in his authenticity or following his higher self towards that rainbow of abundance, which comes after a storm. I think Rose needs a little bit of attention. I'm going to let her out, but I'll be right back. Also, I feel like one thing with the Emperor is it can't be all about work and no play. You know, all work and never like going on a date or, you know, having the people he loves over for dinner, relaxing. Because the Emperor does like to work. They want that kingdom to be strong. But if the kingdom was built on any foundation that wasn't really solid, he doesn't want to continue to build where it's not fulfilling. Otherwise, he's, I don't know, living in an artificial dream. I do feel like upside down, this could be release of a past dream or something that didn't feel fulfilling in the end. It never reached its potential. It was all rain and no rainbows, or it was so much energy put into the rainbows, butterflies, unicorns, cupcakes, but then the reality of the situation was never really where he felt plugged in. I feel like somebody wants to relax with people around him or her where they really just all vibe together, they get along, even if they're all really different, even if all of their dreams are extremely different from one another. Maybe this Emperor is thinking about family. Maybe this Emperor is thinking about his soul tribe. Maybe this Emperor is, I feel like he's choosing to have the people around him that he feels that energy of peace and happiness with. It's a 10, so it is an ending, but the ending brings a new beginning. It's never that happily ever after, everything is great. There's always that ... and then there's another day. Is the next day that happily ever after. When that happily ever after energy is in its truth, even if it's the weirdest, most stressful and unhappy day with a lot of clouds and clutter and chaos and rain, you know, the winds are blowing, it's still knowing that that support for the people he is with will get him through it. If the Emperor was building a past dream and that got stalled, or that became an environment that even he wasn't comfortable with the kingdom he was building or in, then the Emperor is perfectly powerful enough to shut that door and revise his new dream. Because you always get a new dream if the other one, you know, was the old him or, you know, a past situation. So I feel like there's something more expansive now that this Emperor is branching out into, or opening up his arms to receive, or even having, I don't know, this cups, it's intuition, but it's also, I'm getting a lot of imagination. Maybe he's imagining that beautiful final outcome, ... get to turn the next page. Ooh, winds of change. Instead of having a goal be set and having it be a little too structured and in the box. Because when it's too in the box, it doesn't have room to adapt and grow and be flexible and become something you never even thought of or could imagine until you were in that experience. Oh my goodness, it's windy all of a sudden. So let's get one from this. Let's clarify life situations overall. Let's get a little more clarity on what's going on with this Emperor. Now, this Emperor could be you. This could be somebody you are thinking about, or it could be somebody entering into your life soon. And this is giving you a little peekaroo at the maybe current status, but future movement of someone. Maybe this Emperor sees his happily ever after with you, especially if he feels completely at home and at peace and almost like brought back to that center energy of balance every time he's around you, or around you and maybe your family, or your family you create together. Maybe he really likes your cooking. Or this Emperor is also a good cook. Like secretly an amazing chef. Maybe it's a chef. clarify the Emperor, the Four of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and that's what I just said. That's it. The wisdom of adaptability. The wisdom that change is the only consistency that's ever going to happen. So if the Emperor is way too structured, he has a big old lid on that box and has it padlocked down, there can't be growth. It's too stagnant. It's too contained. When things change, we must change as well. I also feel like if there was somebody around him before or currently or in the future that is just completely unwilling to change or go with changes that comes through, I do feel like he's going to give somebody the boot, or at least exit out of that arena and take himself to where he feels that beautiful self reflection, or gets a beautiful reflection back in everyone around him, if not a specific person. I'm going to check on her. And when there's interruptions and dogs that need attention and winds that blow my door shut in readings, I feel like all of that is part of a reading. So continue, keep going. You know, this also kind of looks like an iceberg. So even if you see just the tip of an iceberg, or just the outside demeanor or status of a certain person, it doesn't mean you don't know the real deep inner workings until you have more and more experiences. So what does this even say? Be adaptable. Well, if the Emperor's concerned about career right now, there has to be adaptability because changes are probably going to come in soon. Stay open to new opportunities and changes in your field. That's what I saw when new information comes into play and that old narrative is not working. You have to sometimes maybe go back to the basics, maybe go with the times. Maybe it's even personalities around that change in a career, and that changes how something flows. Maybe somebody comes into your job or where he works or what he owns, because he's probably the Emperor. He's probably at least in charge of something or seen as that. Even if he's not a manager, people will probably go to him like he has the answers. You know, and if somebody comes in, they have a totally different background, a totally different skill set, a totally different talent, whatever it is, that might put a little spice on that situation, and you got to be adaptable with it. Adaptability keeps you relevant and successful. Whatever it is that this Emperor is considering or concerned about right now, that is his kingdom, whether that's his home life, his love life, his family, his time off and his relaxation, his job or his purpose or his home or what he's building or a new business or whatever it is, whatever arena that is, without his own energy of being adaptable and flexible, or whatever is the surrounding energy. And if there's no flexibility, something can't continue to grow. And if he sees that something is just not working, just not growing, you know, sounded like the most perfect situation ever when it was presented to him in the beginning, but then the reality is it didn't really work out that way. His reality is he wants to make his dreams reality. So to revise those dreams means sometimes you have to give something the boot, give someone the boot, throw those old ideas or plans out the window and start fresh. The Emperor is perfectly capable of starting a new kingdom at any time he wants, because he has the strength from anything that has been a success and anything that has been a failure in his life to know how to do something different the next time. And if it's the same thing that he is working on, but he knows something needs to be adjusted, he's intelligent. He'll know what to adjust, what he has to do. He does what he has to do. So let's go to something different. Okay, I'm really excited. So my friends just got back. I hope she's not going to be loud. Rose, she's a busybody today. My friends just got back from France, and they brought me the most beautiful deck of oracle cards. Now, I do not speak French, so have a little patience with me and my pronunciation. I might not say anything right. So I do want to pull these cards. I'm going to pull one and kind of look at the picture and just see what intuitively comes through. But I did bring my iPad and figured out if I take a picture of the book, which is also in Le Français, that I can get the translation. So, and I did one or two, and I really do like the messages here. So I am going to translate for you. So have a little patience with me. It's going to be a little different, but I'm really excited to pull you a card. So let's pull one of these beautiful cards to bring a deeper message to this overall situation that is happening, changing, wisdom gained. I just heard dreams recovered or rediscovered, or new dreams discovered. So what is one message helpful today? What is an oracle message from this beautiful deck have? Le Berger. It kind of looks like the Emperor. I have a couple of decks of cards where that does look like the Emperor energy. Maybe it's also the year of the goat. I always just think of the like the laughing goats or the fainting goats, or how goats can really, besides go up in trees, they can like go on a tiny little ledge. It's like there should be a bird up there, not a goat. Maybe it's about being heard or hurting. Le Berger. What does this say? Celebration, and it looks like family. But a lot of times, you know, it's about soul family. Sometimes people get along in blood family, sometimes they do not. But you can always choose who you spend your time with. The people you truly groove with that bring that happiness vibe. Whatever that is for you. Your tribe, you know? Like you guys here with me. I love you all so much, and I feel so blessed to be here with you. So it also looks like there's a gentle energy here, and there's all these flowers that are like wildflowers. I just see somebody, also there's dandelions. Maybe it's about a wish come true, you know, or letting something go, letting something blossom. Maybe it's even seasonal, or how something just kind of comes together in the right season. Celebration and family. I think it's family. Let's look in the book, but I'm going to pause you because I got to do this. Take a picture, translate the Français. I'll be right back. Pause that at 22:55. Okay, select all, translate. Wow, this is awesome. Some things that are in modern times are just amazeballs. All right. Oh, it's the shepherd. On a small grassy slope near the Citadelle, goats with spotted white fur beating in grass. It's very descriptive in French. The sun bathes the hills. Dandelions. I saw those dandelions there. See them? The dandelions topped with big inkwrights. Dodelint. I don't know what that word is. Everything is calm. That's this. That's the first thing. It's that calm energy. In the shade of a tree, the shepherd monitors his herd. I mean, you have the Emperor here. So there is something about keeping something together in peace and harmony. Maybe even weathering the storm. Being in charge, being the leader. The bell that adorns his stick echoes on the ribs. Like I'm reading you a bedtime story. It is a modest life. That's also another thing with the Emperor. He doesn't have to be, you know, the one who owns the skyrise in New York City or Dubai. The Emperor's kingdom can be the most simple kingdom. It's the kingdom that he is proud of building, whatever that is. It is a modest life, but the shepherd knows how to praise the pleasures of true love. That's what I was saying. If the Emperor is lacking love or lacking following, you know, that thing that fills up his cup and, you know, really moves his heart, moves his soul, then all of that stuff the Emperor can manifest is just going to kind of always feel empty. It's the moments with the people you love that you take with you, that you remember those experiences, not the big boat in the garage. It's the experience on that boat you remember. The shepherd knows how to praise the pleasures of true love, both leader, that's the Emperor, and parental figure. Maybe this is a particular emperor that wants to have children or wants to start a family or already has children, is even just good with kids. But I get that energy like the emperor is a lot more fun when he's one that goes out in the yard and plays baseball, builds the tree house, but then goes up there in the fort, dives into the water and swims. When the emperor is also playful, he's pretty fun. Both leader and parental figure. He makes sure that his herd does not get lost, no matter the weather or the itinerary. I saw all that weather before. So, he knows how to get everyone back to center. That's not always easy depending on the personalities around. It's time to look at your relationships. Family or others, soul friend, family, friends, employees, co-workers, and reach out like the shepherd who leads his flock. Don't be afraid. So even if this is not an emperor you are connecting to, this is your energy, masculine or feminine, what you need to embody right now to take the lead in a certain situation. It's taking the lead with what you can control, which is you. You can inspire others and have that energy of personal empowerment, but it's better if that personal empowerment is exuded and lived and then demonstrated. Therefore, others see that reflection and they step into their own personal power, not overpowering someone. Don't be afraid to take the lead when necessary. Someone must impose himself, and it's about you. Inverted, we're going to look at it both ways, just like I read cards. So inverted, it's by devoting so much energy and time into your social relationships, you may have done too much, and it actually is suffocating others with your affection. It's kind of like I'm getting that upside down hermit kind of energy. It could be where this emperor really wants to be loved, but maybe it's about people pleasing all the time, making sure everyone is having their wish come true. Everyone has, their happiness, but then if he has no reflection on his own happiness, it's like that thing, in the airplane where the mask comes down and he can't really help anyone if he can't take care of himself first. If he's not addressing his own authentic nature or authentic wishes or the truth of his heart, and it's just worried about how everyone else feels, then that backfires into resentment. You can't always make everyone happy. The emperor usually is not worried about that. He wants everyone to be happy, but if he's unhappy, if he's unfulfilled, if he's giving from an empty plate, if he's providing for everybody, but there's nobody giving back, or he feels like what he's providing for is unstable or insecure or not the right foundation or not even where he feels comfortable in his own environment, then eventually that's going to create some upheaval. Usually that stems to some kind of tower moment or a lot of little things that add up until a lot of time was wasted and changes could have been made a long time ago. So instead of devoting so much effort into the problems of others, give them the space and give yourself all of this love. If the emperor is living his life with the energy of love, he's going to inspire everyone to step into that loving energy himself. Because I feel like there's something in that message where if the emperor doesn't usually settle for less than he deserves. And if he is settling in a situation, that's his underlying energy. That's what he's representing to those he cares about. So, it was interesting. I like this deck of cards. It's also telling you to celebrate, to have fun. Also, it's finding that balance overall in life. So that was fun. I really liked that balance. I also like that it put a humbleness and a vulnerability to that Emperor energy. Even with the Shepherd, it does feel graceful and natural, simple. And I feel like it's also sensitive and strong. There's a lot of strength and vulnerability. The thing is, the Emperor's generally only vulnerable with those he feels extremely comfortable with, or he knows that vulnerability is going to make a big impact and beautiful changes with a certain partnership or in a certain group. So I don't know what to do next. Should we do another one where I read? Yeah, because I did bring this. This is another deck of cards I haven't used very much. It was also given to me by a dear friend, a different one. And I've only read this intuitively. I've never actually gone to the book. Sometimes I don't go to the book because I like to have the intuitive messages. But maybe today is a day to have a little more structure. And I do like that at the end of readings, sometimes that end message correlates everything else that came through. So let's get one from, what is this? It's also a beautiful box. Ooh, half of it. It's the Healing Waters. We do have this. Those waters look so beautiful and calm and maybe a little cold. So maybe there's something where it's going to be a little shocking, or it takes that shocking energy, a little like woo kind of stimulation, because I'm getting Wim Hof now, and it like shocks those little nanofibers within your muscle tissues and your nervous system that aren't usually exercised. That's what that cold water thing does, or at least what I remember. I did actually listen to that book, but there's something where people now in society become super just comfortable, and that little bit of like shocking energy, that cold splash, a little cold at the end of your shower, actually does do a lot of good overall to your system. That's not for everyone. Some people do not like the cold water, but that's kind of the message I'm getting right now. So what is one message, please, from the Healing Waters? The Wishing Well. If you're diving deep, maybe this is wishes coming true. These cards are really beautiful. It's something unexpected. It's an unexpected gift. It's kindness, and it's karmic jewels. Maybe something is multifaceted. Maybe it's that energy because you have strength within the Emperor. Maybe it is a balancing somewhere with an Empress. Maybe the Empress is in the background or coming on in. Because I'm getting that diamond drill energy. Only a diamond can cut another diamond. So it's not about, it's more about the strength and the rarity. Maybe somebody was like, I actually love, interesting. I also have this too. Should we just go for it and do, it's like I'm looking at that. That kind of looks like a diamond. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go deep today. Let's see what the Wishing Well is. I feel like raw diamonds are so beautiful, uncut. It I guess takes away from their value, but yet they're not. They're still so beautiful. If you've never seen a raw diamond, maybe just look it up. They're so cool looking. Oh, I opened right up to it. Let's read. Unexpected gift, kindness, and karmic jewels. Oh, I just thought of the Singer Jewel. I thought of the one, you took your coat off, stood in the rain. You're always crazy like that. I watched through my window. Always felt outside looking in on you. You're always the mysterious one with dark eyes and, I don't know, like crazy hair or something. You were something, but too cool to, you were something sensitive but too cool to care. I'll put that song below. The wishing well is, it's said that in ancient times, women would sing and whisper into wells, believing that the water would carry the messages from one corner of the world to another. This may sound like something from a children's fable, but in fact, several scientific researchers have theorized that water can be imbued with energy from our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. One of those is emoto. Wishing wells are found all over the world, and they mirror, you have that mirror here. They mirror to us a great reverence. Maybe you did that. Maybe it's not even a wishing well, but maybe you passed a stream or something like that, and you just really, made a wish from the depths of your soul to just, have come to fruition in your life, or something similar to that you could experience. They mirror the great reverence held by our ancestors of Earth's fresh waters. Greek mythology says that the tradition of wishing wells began through the practice of throwing coins into a sacred well of the warrior Aetherius, who was a renowned oracle. The wishing well is a wonderful card that carries with it great blessings, gifts, and fulfilled wishes. This is a really nice thing to end on. I guess we're going to have to do this since I lifted it up. We'll do one more. Of course, the creation requires embodiment and action. So it's not a sign to stop moving forward with your dreams in practical ways. Rather, it offers deep encouragement to keep going and trust that all the groundwork you've already put into place is working. It can also be a sign that helpful people are coming into your life to support you in creating your heart's deepest desires, because we don't have to manifest alone. And if the people around aren't helping you manifest your dreams, they're down the road. Healing Waters affirmation. I receive all the gifts that life has to offer with an open heart and an open mind. I am surrounded by kind, helpful people. Things are working out for me. I am living this is what I was saying with the Emperor. I am living my heart's deepest, most daring prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's big gratitude energy. So archetypes, let's end on an archetype. These are all big messages at the end. I did this a different way. I liked it. I hope you enjoyed the reading today. Thank you for being here. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning here, it's good to see you again. Let's get one more. One big archetype. The seed of potential. It all starts from that tiny little seed. That tiny little seed can create a huge tree, which creates a whole forest. That seed is everything. This is almost like kind of getting Ace of Pentacles sort of energy. You have that seed. Even if it's the most beautiful idea, the most beautiful tangible offer, and someone takes that seed and they're like, I will get to that later, and they put it in the drawer and they forget about it, that seed is not going to grow very big. It's not going to grow at all. But to put that in the earth, trust that there's something going on under the surface of a situation you may at first not see. You have to have faith. Those roots are growing. And connection to the sunlight and the elements, the water, the emotion, then that seed has the potential to sprout and grow and become, blossom. What is the seed all about? We went from French to Roman numerals. All right, LXVI. LX. Wait, I got it. The seed. It also looks like a thumbprint, or it does look like rings on a tree. I think it's every ring is 1 year of growth. It looks like that's had a lot of growth. The beginning, the origin, the pearl. I love that there's a pearl. Beginnings come in many forms. Pearls, I don't know, there's something, I saw the diamond before, maybe it's pearls of wisdom. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents that fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning. Or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imagery theory or not, now know that when this card appears, there is potent, generative energy all around you. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. When something really pushes your buttons, when something really like, I call that the divine friction energy. When something like creates that weird rub, sometimes that weird rub or that weird situation has to happen to make you uncomfortable enough to create the changes to get you where you're supposed to be, or what you're supposed to be doing, or how you're supposed to be growing. It is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against the growth edge. I like that. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. I did see that raw diamond before. Generative, fertile, germinating and building when light. When dark, it's festering, stirring, stewing, and dormant. Go deeper. James Hillman's acorn theory, the soul's code. One of the alchemist's favorite images was the pearl. The irritant over time becomes the treasure. What is your grit? Ooh, gotta get a little gritty to be pearlescent. I feel like that's like the color of a car. Or like nail polish. I just saw nail polish. The true seed is elusive. If we follow any story towards its origin, it spirals farther and farther back in time. In this way, we are always the seed and always the fruit that it bears. That's what I saw with the ... It's a continuous journey forever. It's never reaching that one goal. You have it all. You better have another goal once you get that, beautiful outcome, that platform, that trophy, that thing. Then what? You get to rediscover and redirect and, I don't know, I hear like revamp something again and again. Maybe that's your energy. The seed, the wisdom of adaptability, the wishing well, 4 swords, 10 of cups, le berger, I hope I said that right, the shepherd, and the emperor. With this, I bid you adieu. I love you so very much. Thank you for being here today. If you did enjoy this reading and you think this would be helpful, or just to connect to me and show me that you enjoyed it, I would greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And I very much look forward to seeing you very soon.